That does.
Very well crafted. So, yeah, it's all drafted.
So, well, nice is, well, that's booked down, but if you want to pay for, you know, I say call, or it's not a call, you can call. Take about 5 minutes. Anticipation. Sound like Heinz Ketchup.
Come inside.
Those days are gone.
Not in my flavor.
Yeah. Just no.
I said, do
Okay, it's 7 o'clock, we can go ahead and get started. I'm going to read off the list of names, addresses, and amounts. And at the end, if your name has been read off, or you have anything to do with the properties that I mentioned, that will be your time to speak. Tina Terry, 109 West North, 6885. Patricia Ford, 113 East Prairie, 10863. Troy Caton, 501 South Newton, 14512. Troy Caton, 505 South Newton, 29225. Naomi Wilson, 211 North Newton, 4220. Tina Goodland, 532 South Denton, 6892. Andrea Valencia, 310 South Iroquois, 11347. Gerald Cornell, 129 West Union, 37948. Lee Diardo, 111 West Union, 25890. Joseph Irwin, 123 West Jasper, 12741. Anybody here for any of these properties? Yes, ma'am.
For the 532 South Benton, we'll be up tomorrow to take care of that.
Okay,
The $68.
okay. Anybody else? Entertain a motion to disconnect?
So moved.
It's been moved, do we have a second?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Unsafe building hearings, again.
The first one is 658 South Newton Street, Steve Frisco.
Yes, sir.
And we were here a month ago, and you indicated you'd done some cleanup, that you were going to try and get a new garage door so that it closed. Repaired the siding on the front of the house where the porch was removed, one front window, bay window, and 2 smaller windows, and 1 window toward the back. It would be open items, and it was set for review hearing tonight. Where do you stand?
I've made significant progress. The yard is like 90% done. I've spent over $800 having debris cleared out of there, including myself. Between the rain, the wind, and the cold we had all April, I managed to get the yard like 90% done. Today I actually signed a contract and hired a guy to start on the garage. We did remove all the bad siding on the south side of the garage today, He's coming back tomorrow and continuing to remove that siding. I have made contact with an individual that I've known for 30 years who did windows in my antique shop in Lowell. He's got a business in Lowell, a window shop, and I have a tentative agreement with him coming out to give me an estimate on the windows. So I have the ball rolling. In between all of that, I had several trees come down in that bad streak of weather we had about 2 weeks ago, which cost me more money to have some of the trees removed. I don't have all of it yet because he can't get back there. It's still really wet back there in my back 40, but I've made substantial progress on the property, and I have started on the garage, have hired started on the garage, and I have made arrangements for an individual to come out and look at the windows. So I am making progress.
You said you signed a contract and that was to do the siding on the garage?
I talked to a guy today, and he's already pulled off the siding on the south side of the garage.
And then he's gonna re-side the garage?
Well, we haven't made a decision yet. He's thinking that I could paint the garage because I have solid treated wood. I had Smart Roof put a new roof on my house several years ago and the garage. He determined that the garage was structurally sound. It's just the outside that looks bad, but actually the garage itself, I wouldn't have had a brand new roof put on the garage if Mr. Smart wouldn't have determined that the garage is structurally sound.
What about the siding on the front of the house where the porch was removed?
Yeah, I haven't got it.
Is that gonna be part of this whole?
Not at this moment. We haven't talked that. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to eliminate one issue and then go into the next. I'm starting my business season in my business. My business is buying and selling antiques, and I do markets, open air markets. And the winter is really tough for me because none of the markets are open, but they're all starting to open now this month. However, with all this rain and this wind, even if I would have had the financial means to do the work, I couldn't get this contracted in all this bad weather this month. It's just been really nasty.
Did you do anything with the garage doors?
I have talked to somebody. I haven't seen them yet. I have a lead on several garage doors. I haven't seen them yet. But I mean, I take all this seriously. I'm going to try to eliminate one issue at a time as opposed to having 3 or 4 projects going at the same time. One, I am not financially set for that. And 2, that I tend to get a little scattered that way. So my goals are to eliminate one issue, which I basically have with the yard. I even raked and got everything out of there, and so that is done. And now I'm starting on the garage. I plan to get that done between now and next meeting. However, my window guy, if he comes out, then I can get that done too. I just don't, I don't have the financial means to spend thousands of dollars to get it all done at one time. And 2, I'm the type of person where, I have a little ADD, so I can't scatter everything going on at one time. But I am eliminating issues. I've already eliminated the grounds, and now I've started on the garage. We pulled off siding today. So every day that I have them come out, it's pouring rain, so. Excuse me.
John, what do you say?
Yeah, he's been working on it. The outside looks good, so. Been working on the garage.
Make a motion, we set it for review next meeting.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, all in favor?
So that is May 19th.
Yes, sir.
At 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
working with us.
Beg your pardon?
Thank you for working.
Yes, sir. No, I'm serious about this. I'm gonna be proud of my property. Thank you, gentlemen.
The next one is 129 West Prairie Street. Dennis Battery, Marlon Jimenez. So what happened at the?
So we were successful in the lawsuit. The ownership issue has been resolved in favor of the estates. We've just been waiting for the 30-day appeal deadline to expire. That is the 24th, so Thursday. And we have a contractor selected to complete the repair on the roof. That should get started hopefully. Well, the plan is to exchange money to get that started once this appeal deadline is expired. My understanding is the property has been vacated. Regardless, there's a eviction hearing scheduled for May 7th. So my request is give us another 30 days. We should be able to come back next meeting to report that the repairs have been completed and everything's good to go.
I'll make that motion. Second. Been moved and seconded, all in favor? Unanimous?
Are they in the You're talking about the roof, are you talking about the ceiling of
The
the front
ceiling of the
porch?
porch,
Oh,
correct.
okay.
Yep. So, thank you.
Thank you. The next one is 505 South Newton Street, Troy and Teresa Keaton and Stan Brookler. Someone here for that?
I am. They're right now, they're in the hospital. My mom is in the hospital right now.
What's your name, please?
Eric Caton,
Here, spell your last name.
Cayton.
Oh, Keaton. Okay, okay. And on this property, they were ordered to remove trash, debris, fire hazardous material, and John noted repair or replace the northeast rear window. Are you familiar with the window that's damaged or broken?
No, I'm
No.
not.
North window.
Is that where the plywood's at, Sports?
Yeah.
That window's been deleted.
No, where it looks like there's some like
That-
insulation over it or something?
We're trying to figure that out now. That's where the bathroom is right now.
What's underneath that insulation?
Wood, plywood, that we boarded over the window with.
Oh.
That window's been deleted all the way out.
And is there some missing siding on the?
Yes, I gotta get it put up. It keeps on falling down every single wind, and we had one story.
And Eric, what's your address? Did you receive?
Our actual home address is 501 South Second Street.
Okay. Are you buying that on contract from Stan Brookler or
Yes.
something? Okay. Have you had any communication with Mr. Brookler?
I have no clue. Like I said, my mom's in the hospital right now.
Is she buying it or? I don't
Mom
know.
is.
Okay. Is that Teresa?
Yes.
So what are your plans with regard to finishing the siding on the house where the window was boarded up?
I had no clue. That up to my mom. I had no idea.
Who's buying it on contract?
My mom, Teresa.
And is she expected to be released from the hospital soon?
I have no clue. Right now, she's down there with what is it?
She had a stroke,
She had a stroke Tuesday morning.
so they're not sure if they're gonna be moving her to their facility for short-term rehab. But you could extend it out for another 30 days and come back and review.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we extend it for 30 days and also put a stay on those two Troy Caton water bill shut off.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, all in favor?
So, Eric, we'll talk about this again on May 19th at 7 o'clock.
Alrighty.
The next one is 222 East 4th Street. That's a Goodman house. Michael and Tina Goodman is. This order was to exterminate vermin, remove trash, and repair or rehabilitate the unsafe building by repairing or replacing the roof, replacing the missing siding, cleaning up trash and debris between the buildings and on the premises.
We cleaned up the property.
What's your name, please?
Tina Goodman,
You cleaned it?
we've got about 90% of it. We've got some trash that we need, but we're waiting on trash day to take stuff out to the road.
Okay.
We rebuilt the doors on the front of the garage today, and so that they actually close now and don't look like an eyesore anymore. We covered the one window on the garage. We did get supplies for siding on the smaller house.
Okay, 1 second. So,
And there are no vermin.
What'd you say about the window in the garage?
We got it covered.
What's the plan with that? Say covering it as a temporary thing, what are you gonna do?
It's gonna either be replaced or deleted. Right now, I'm sourcing all the parts to do it. we've got 2 properties right now that want work done, so my plan is I already have some of the, materials that we've been collecting. I've got enough to start the garage, get it going. Then I'll complete the garage, then I'm gonna move to the house on 532, redo the siding and the roof on
Just
it.
1 second on that, we'll get to that one.
And then,
So, are you Michael?
yeah, and then the plan is to move from that one to the 222 and do the roof and siding on it.
So, is it your belief that you're like 90% done cleaning up the outside of the property?
Pretty much, yeah. Most of what we have now is building material that we were collecting to try to start things.
And you rebuilt the doors on the front of the garage so that it closes, so it isn't closed up?
Yeah, we figured, well, with the vermin thing, we understand that when our son was alive, he lived in the small house. He let it get overrun with mice. After he passed away, we cleaned the house out, eradicated everything. There is no more mice in the house that we can find.
You said the little house, is that the 222?
That's the 532.
Okay, so let's keep on 222 for just a minute here. So the work that you talked about on the garage, was it 222?
No, that's on, yeah, because we're dealing with 2 properties, so.
There's no
Crystal clear on
garage on
that, and I'll
20.
let you know when we're on the second one. Let's talk about 222.
The 222, we still have to, we clean the yard, but we still have to gather materials to finish the siding and roof it.
If I can speak, I'm his daughter, helping with this project. We do know how much siding we need, we have priced it, it's just a matter of getting it. And we are looking into the pricing for the roofs as well. And so we are making progress on those. The yards are cleaned up except for building materials, willing to tarp that if you want, but those are things that we are going to need.
Is it your plan to re-roof the, so there's a house and a garage, correct?
On 222, it's just a house.
Okay.
So the
Are
plan
you-
for that is to side it and re-roof it.
Finish the siding and roof.
222 is East Street, right? Or North Street?
Just North Street.
Yeah, that's, my camera quit, and CBS quit today too, so I don't have a couple pictures.
Was that picture taken recently?
Pardon me?
Was that picture taken recently?
The Saturday.
Saturday, July 23rd, 2021?
The date?
That doesn't mean anything.
No,
right?
no, no, that was taken Saturday.
So. That's it then. So inside that building at 222, you think you've handled the vermin problem?
There-
Uh, 222, we've never had a vermin problem now.
Did it have any openings that permitted access?
Not on 222.
No, 222 is right across the street from the field, so we automatically have set the house up to where all our food is sealed and all that, because we had issues every year when they took care of the fields, we would get mice. So we went through that house and closed it off, and we keep our food set up to where we don't have all that to attract them.
At 222, how much time do you think you need to finish the siding and re-roof?
That I'm not sure at the moment. Like I said, dealing with 2 properties, we're trying to balance it all, and we're trying to come up with a plan.
Did you say you got the debris out of the yard on 222?
Yeah, it's,
Because I'm looking at this picture, there's car tire and propane tanks and all kinds of things laying there.
That was,
yeah, I see.
The probably tires taken to Morocco.
that was also Saturday, and we've done work since then, and there's also tires that are gonna be
Yeah.
removed tomorrow.
This whole area has been cleaned out. The only thing you'll find there is you'll see a stack of tires here that we're getting rid of, and a small pile of trash that we haven't got rid of yet. But everything back here's been cleaned up.
I can attest to that.
How much time you want?
Can we try to revisit it in 60 days? That way we can try to get the money together for a siding and a roof.
I'll make a motion that we give them another, until the June meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Then moved and seconded, all in favor? Unanimous?
So that'll be June 16th at 7 PM.
Okay.
And then your 532 is the next one. And on that, also exterminate vermin, remove trash and debris, repair or replace the roof, replace the missing siding, cleaning up trash and debris between the buildings and on the premises. Which looks a lot like the other address. What are you doing at 532 South Benton?
That's the one that just got new doors on the garage.
We got the siding for the house. We just thought
Yeah,
we had-
we've picked up siding to replace the missing siding on the house. We're still sourcing material for the roof.
Is it gonna be replaced or repaired on the roof?
You just need repaired. That house was gone through less than 20 years ago and completely remodeled on the inside. And it had new shingles put on it, but,
Is that what's on it, shingles? I can't tell from.
well, the front half is shingles, the back half is a rubber roof. And the rubber roof has never failed, so we haven't done anything with it. We've never had any leaks or anything in the rubber.
And I'd like to note it passed all town inspections at that time when we redid it.
Is there still stuff in the yard?
That's where our car trailer is with all our wood and everything, all our building materials. There's a couple things in there, but nothing that, all the trash and stuff was taken out.
So your plan is to repair the roof and the siding, and hopefully use up your building materials so that there will be building materials in there when we're done. And do you believe there's a pest control problem there?
No, not anymore. That was taken care of almost,
August of 2024, my brother passed away in July. And when he moved out, we cleaned out the house completely. And there have been no pest problems since.
we went in trapped and all that. Holes in the house were filled where they were getting in. And so that was all taken care of right after Charles passed.
We poisoned and trapped and, yeah, we went in there and took care of that. And I put powder down to make sure that there's no footprints, to make sure we're not missing anything.
And how much time do you think you need to do the siding and the?
30 days we should have the siding done. The roof might need it,
Yeah,
depending on weather,
depending on,
weather related.
I'll make a motion that we review it again in May for the siding and then in June for the rest of it. It's been moved in second, all in favor? Unanimous?
So in May, that hearing will be on May 19th at 7 o'clock, and then in June 16th. Okay. The next one is 416 North Newton Street, which is Jeff Miller. Jeff? And so somebody else from my office was here when we were here last in November, and it says you change directions on the work on the property, will likely remove all. How you coming on that?
Burned down yesterday.
See, that's high progress. Did you get rid of the debris? That's what,
It's still burning.
But it will, yes.
Is there any part of the, weren't you gonna save part of it?
Didn't do that.
So how much time do you need to clean the lot up after it? 5 days, 10 days, 1 month? What are you asking for?
I will put fence in first, so get the animals back in, couple months.
We'll make a motion to, for the June meeting. Been moved and seconded, all in favor?
So June 16th at 7 o'clock. Thank you. The next one is 109 West North Street, Tina Terry. So this one was here, was heard on February 17th. There was a hole in the roof that was still there, but she is cleaning up the inside. We had no proof of service. We continued it 60 days and sent it certified mail. And she signed for that on March 10th to be here tonight. She was to exterminate vermin in and about the premises by tonight, remove trash, debris, and fire hazardous materials. And then I wrote, it appears someone cleaned up the east side of the residence, but the other work is still needed, and to repair the roof.
They repaired the roof. But there's another hole in the roof that, has came and, well, Tina seen it, I didn't see it, but it's a smaller one. I never go that direction, I always go the other direction. But anyway, there is one more hole in the roof that I've never seen before. And there is birds coming in and out of it.
And about the junk trash and debris and the exterminate vermin, so
Yeah.
that's the birds going in and out of the.
I think everything else is pretty well taken care of.
So, you believe he needs just, in order to fix the other hole in the roof?
We have to just let her know, she might not even know it, because there's a tree right there that's kind of blocking it.
I see. What are
What are our options?
well, since that one may have been not on the radar when we did the first one, I would do a new, a big building order on the other hole. It's hidden by a tree, you say,
Yeah.
and start the process with it.
Okay, what about the existing one, should we release it?
Pardon me?
The existing, building order, should we release it? Or is it done, is it all done?
It is what's on from today,
What
what
was
we was gonna do today is done.
Okay,
There is another hole that we didn't see before.
Okay, so then our choice is to release the active one now, and then you're gonna start another with the other hole.
yes.
I'll make that motion. Been moved and seconded, all in favor?
And, the last one is 419 West Jasper Street, and this is Tiffany Hood. And this is one where, Dylan had to serve it because we couldn't get the certified mailing claim. We sent it out 60 days, at the 30-day mark, we didn't have service, so he served it on her, had proof of that. And so, she was required to exterminate vermin, remove trash and debris about the exterior of the property, either replace the siding or repaint the siding, replace broken and damaged windows, and it's subject to a continuous enforcement order so that we can do any work that we needed to and bill her for it, and then leave the property as we need the property. It was set for hearing tonight at 7 o'clock. And she was warned that if she, one second. Let's see, no language about the back to compliance. Fines may be imposed up to $5,000. Costs may be affixed to miscellaneous to property placed on the tax rolls and if not paid, shall generate a tax sale or commissioner's tax certificate of property. Anything changed since February?
I haven't seen it much changed at all.
No.
It's right next to Honeycutt's shop.
Jim Mount's old house. What's her options?
So she was served, failed to appear, didn't do anything out of order, so you can consider whether she willfully failed to comply.
It would appear willful to me. What kind of fine you guys wanna talk about?
Hasn't done anything. She hasn't tried to do anything yet.
I don't see anything at all.
No, she hadn't.
All right, make that motion.
I make a motion that we impose a $5,000 fine.
Been moved and seconded, all in favor? Unanimous.
And then consider an order, for 30 days out or 60 days out, how do you wanna
You
do
wanna
that?
amend your motion
I'll amend it to 30 days because it's
That's all I got.
do you have anything else?
So I've had 3 building permits.
Nothing else? Anybody have anything else for John? We need to move Ken up, so he's been so patient.
The Terry Wire from USDA had asked that the town pass a resolution, and Joe, I didn't send that to you, I apologize, but it's their resolution, there's not much we can do to change it.
Right.
I will make sure I get you a copy of the application, the council lets me do that. Then that's the application request, authorizing the body to apply for a loan of $500,000 for the site improvement part of the Iroquois property. Again, that doesn't obligate you to actually doing it, just pass a resolution stating the body council wants to go ahead and apply for that, and then require that resolution. Then I have several other forms as well.
We'll make a motion to adopt this resolution. All in favor? Unanimous.
Then I had CCMG paperwork, signatures, and the Tina's already tested. And then there are several application forms for the site loan to USD as well. I just pass it to you and just request signatures.
Make the motion that the council authorize me to sign these.
Second?
All in favor? Unanimous.
I hope to have news prior to the next council meeting on movement, a lot more movement on the site loan project. Sorry it's taking so long, but
The other council members sign here.
yeah, no, just you on that CCMG. You're the authorized contact. With your permission, I'll submit that to NDOT with Tina's help, and then they should give you your money and you
Is that it, Ken?
that's all for CCMG, and then those are the application forms for the site loan to USDA.
Bill, you have a question?
Yeah, why don't we just do it? I'm not very smart. You guys are talking up there, and I don't know what's going on.
Well, I'm not even as smart as you are, and I can't write and explain it at the same time, so give me a minute. Unless one of you other guys want to explain.
CCNG grant, it will continue. They may make you do a local will tax. They may require some backup, say that way. There's a possibility that they may have communities adopt a local will tax. I haven't heard anything from it, but as far as I know, it's gonna be around in 2026. Next round is July of this year, but the next round after that will be January 2026. There may be additional requirements, but as far as I know, it's gonna continue.
Okay, sit back, and this takes a little bit.
Thank you very much.
I went to a meeting with the Department of Agriculture. The guy that ran for lieutenant governor on the Democratic ticket this year was the head of USDA in Indiana at that time. Dr. Terry Goodland is his name. And he had a lot of things to say to small towns. And in particular, one of the things he said was that USDA has designated Goodland, Kentland, and 2 other communities in Newton County, a certain designation that I forgot what it is now, but what it did mean was we automatically qualify for every program USDA has, okay? And then he went on to say that for small town USA to survive, we're gonna have to get in the real estate business. He said, you take your big towns like, Merrillville or some of those other places, developers will come in and they'll buy up 100 or 200 acres and put in who knows how many houses, and they can do that. It's economical, and they can do that, and they are doing that. But they're not going out into small towns and putting houses on empty lots that we might have, or if we happen to have something here or there, it's just not worth it for them. So he said, in Indiana, under his guidance, for small towns to survive, they have to get in the real estate business. And they said, not only do we want you to get in the real estate business, we will grant/loan you the money to do it and build these houses, develop this infrastructure, and then we will turn around and we will loan money to people to buy your houses from you. Not to mention the fact that as he loans us the money to build houses, we don't have to pay that money back until those houses are sold. If I say anything wrong here, Ken, back me up. So we want Goodland to survive, so we said, okay, we'll take that. So one of the first things we did, we bought a lot on Iroquois Street, and we're developing it with 6 houses, okay? As we get our feet wet with that, and it works, and we figure out what we're doing, and get those houses sold, we bought property on Garfield Street. And if the Iroquois Street thing goes well, we might do 8 more houses on Garfield Street. And if that goes well, we'll keep going. And we would like to do things like more housing and maybe even apartment building. We were talking about, entry-level housing, like you would, first get married, maybe live in an apartment or whatever, and then move out of that into a smaller house, build that level of housing, and then even the next level after that, what you move into after that. So that's what we're trying to do. We've been trying to do it for,
It's been a year, but this is only the second loan they've ever done in this type in the state, so it's been a learning process.
yeah. So, we've been working on it a while, but we will make progress and as we go through this. So, can I explain it properly?
Well, you explained something, and I listened to you, and I thank you very much for saying it, but I've never heard you say it before.
Well, we probably said bits and pieces of it here and there, but not all of it was defined like that.
I just like things to be open and honest.
Well, and we have been. I've made this speech a lot of times to a lot of people, so it's certainly transparent.
What's the initials for the road grant?
The initial
CMG.
community crossing adventure grant, CCNG.
Yeah. So the other one's a grant we get for doing the roads. As you've noticed, the last few years we've been doing the roads. The state pays 75% of the road cost, and the town only has to fund 25% of the cost. So each year we apply a little bit of the town money to get the roads completed while the grant's going on.
That's good to know too. Maybe everybody else knows it, and I'm the only one in here.
I didn't know.
The barber knows, just go up there.
Well, he didn't tell me.
Is that it, Ken?
I'll get copies.
Anybody have anything else for Ken?
I'll get copies of them. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate letting me know. Thank you.
Financials, Tina.
At the end of March, in our general fund, we ended with $363,425.56. In our water operating, we have $65,512.25. Sewer operating, $267,492.45. And that gives us a grand total of $1,892,774.24.
Do you need anything, Tina? You do not? Anybody have anything for Tina? Paige, do we need to put you on that?
We do not have any statements to make, but if you have a question, happy to have you.
You got the letters out?
We do. We have the letters in hand, and we expect to have them tomorrow.
Okay.
Over.
Okay, good.
Thank you all for considering that. That was quite nice.
You're welcome. Fire department.
Since the last council meeting, the department has responded to 8 fire calls, 15 EMS calls, 1 mutual aid call. The department's held monthly training over tanker operations. 3 members are near completion of their state-required fire training. Totaling, all members are trained and certified on the department. 2 members graduated from EMT level training, and they're scheduling their national. Now you have to take a national test as well, so they're scheduling that. That'll put us up to 7 EMTs and 2 emergency responders. The new county purchased 2-way radios will be installed. I was just told today, this Thursday and Friday. And kind of started discussions with the township trustee and township trustee board about another brush truck. Just trying to see where we can go with it.
Which township? Grant?
Grant. And still no word from Kirksey on the new fire truck grant. They still say everything's in limbo with the federal freeze, which probably is. The chief and the fire department officer are actively participating in leadership, incident command strategy training, firefighter safety and decision-making courses through the Fire Safety Institute and Public Safety Institute. So yeah.
Anybody have anything for Ryan? Police department, Bill.
We had 50 calls for service, 14 were handled by the county, 19 by us, 17 were public service. 7 of those were handled by me, 12 by the deputies. No arrests, 2 tickets, and 14 ordinance violations.
Is that it? Anybody have anything for Dylan? Street, water, and sewer. Okay.
Town and Country Paving has been picked as lowest bidder for the street paving project. Still waiting on a start date from them. Sewer, Rod Green was called back for some warranty work out at the wastewater project. Just a pipe had to be moved so it was dripping chemical in the right spot. FJF Services has completed the rehab on the Wayland Street lift station. They should be starting on the Union Street lift station next month and a half. Water, still waiting for a good week to start spring hydrant flushing. Parks, Uter Hall Drainage has completed the water line sewer line project at the ballpark. Uter Hall Drainage has started the sewer project at Foster Park. Town and Country Paving has measured the ball field parking lot in order to provide a quote for paving. Once they've completed the design, we'll present it to the council. And then miscellaneous, still waiting for dry weather. We got quite a few yard restorations we have to do around town, so those will be done when it's not so muddy.
I was driving past the park, one, might have been Friday, I don't know, Thursday,
I
Friday.
think it was Friday.
Friday, and there were about 5 teenage boys were in the buildings, the new little buildings we got, I stopped, they ran off, and I looked in the buildings, it didn't look like they had damaged anything, but they were in there. So if they could get in there, somebody that will damage it can get in there. So I'd like to do two things as quickly as we possibly can. You know, we already approved, we talked about cameras
Mhm.
for the place, because we're gonna put them up anyway. And then the doors, you know the doors that have the shields over where the bolt is?
Yep.
Okay, I'd like to put better locks on there that can't be picked so easy with those shields, so that you can't get in there with a screwdriver or something and open up those doors. You know, obviously gonna need electric on those buildings to run those cameras.
Yep.
I'd like to get that done like as soon as possible. We don't want that restroom to get tore up before it's even operational.
Right.
How quick can that be done?
Let me get a hold of NIPSCO. I've been waiting on them for, I don't know how long, so I need to call them again and see when exactly we're on the schedule to get electric. And then, we'll figure out the doors here soon, and so.
Can we get the doors secured like this week and get the cameras in here as quickly as possible?
You sure can try, yeah.
Okay. Are you guys good with that? Okay. Anything else, Kate?
Nope, that's it.
Anybody have anything for Case, John?
Big water hole, mud hole up there beside Casey's to the east side, where people pull off, and then there's a scramble, and then there's a great big hole about just right around it all. That's just gonna get in, that water in there is gonna get underneath the road, and some truck's gonna go through there and bust that off, so why don't they fill it in with some gravel or something to keep the water out of there? Compact it a little bit.
John's old place there.
Pardon me?
John's old place.
No, it's right beside Casey's on
On the
the
other
east side of Casey's parking lot.
Casey's little gravel spot, yeah.
Because otherwise that road is, the foundation of the ground is gonna wash out, and it's just gonna break that asphalt off.
I've never maintained that, so I don't know if that's our responsibility or whose responsibility that is.
How far off the pavement is it?
It's right there where the trucks pull off there, right at the edge of the road, at the edge of the property.
So it's ours.
Couple, 2 or 3 buckets of 53s and run over it with the tractor wheels.
It's like a tractor bucket.
Yeah.
Should we do that? Should we put some asphalt on it? Get it based down and put some asphalt on it when we're doing the asphalt here in town?
Yeah, that'd be the cheapest way. I mean, it'll even stick together halfway decent once it gets warm out.
Yeah. Put some fairly large stone in there and get it based down, and then when the guys are asphalt, have them do that. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, if you can make that happen, that'd be great, Case.
Will do.
Anybody else, anything for Case? Building insurance, the insurance company have decided to, on this building, and three other buildings in town, they decided to make the roof, as far as wind and hail damage, if you have a claim on that, you have to pay, the town would have to pay the first 1%, not of the roof value, not of the repair value, but of the building value, as a deductible for that roof. So if this roof took hail damage and caused a roof replacement, we would have to pay $70,000 for that roof before they would pay a dime.
Wow.
Yeah. So for all intents and purposes, on this building, we don't have insurance.
Is it because it was flood?
No, they're changing that to all commercial buildings. Well, yeah, that's their story.
And they're sticking to it. We've, through Jim Schoen, we've tried to get that changed, and so far they're not budging. So for all intents and purposes, we don't have insurance for wind and hail on this building unless it's a total loss. So Jim did find another company that's willing to take those 4, I think it was 4, wasn't it 4 buildings?
Yeah.
those 4 buildings. Jim found another company that was willing to take those 4 buildings more as a favor to him than anything else, because he deals with them all the time. And then we've got a year to try to figure out something different. So I'll make a motion that we authorize Jim and direct him to take those buildings over to that other insurance company and to leave them off the first one. Been moved and seconded, all in favor? Unanimous? Anybody have any questions on that? Attorney?
Ingrid sent you a couple of leases for, that were kind of more our style of leases than, First Steps lease.
Right steps
Right
and,
Steps, because that one had some inconsistencies in it, like it referred to wrong years and, remember? Like you had that.
Head Start.
Head Start.
was the lease amounts the same?
Well, so it said that it was, the January and February payments were gonna be, lower, and then they increased in March, so we made ours say that. We caught that, but it's more of a standard lease for what we do than somebody who doesn't do leases for buildings and trade to cobble one together, probably something else that they've got under contract.
Well, we kind of told them to do that just to get their involvement and maybe get them to come.
So I think ours incorporates what theirs has in it, but it's more of a typical lease.
We have a motion to sign the lease,
I'll make that motion.
both leases.
Yes.
Been moved, we have a second. All in favor?
Gold Torch, Matt Newman, their attorney, was gonna add some language about this annexation. And he was on vacation, and I was on vacation, and then he was on another vacation, but he was gonna send me something last week. He called me Friday afternoon, after I left the office, 3 o'clock. And so I tried to catch him today, and I got a message to him, and that's all we did connect. He was going to draft something that would go into our memorandum of understanding. So the memorandum of understanding is still in draft form, and I think, that just based on that ask, that tells me people are willing to do the voluntary annexation if there's an agreement in advance of this annex, if the project doesn't happen, which that makes sense. So, but he said he also wanted that in the, at the end of the project too, if they did do the project, that it be disannexed at that point. Kind of looking down the road 50 years, but, whatever the parties agree to, if that's what it takes to get the voluntary annexation so that we can do what we want to do, I'd say fine, but he could send me the language, so.
So that language would be as long as the land is being used for solar, then it would remain annexed, but if solar ever went away, and it went back to farmland, it'd be disannexed.
It would be disannexed on the condition that it doesn't take anybody else's consent, because I don't know if that takes county consent at that point to give it back. I mean, you can agree to whatever you want to do for the town, but, so, that's the only hitch to what he's saying from my perspective is we'll agree to whatever we can agree to, but we can't bind everybody. But that's probably all we're looking for in this voluntary annexation. So anyway, I'll follow up on that again.
Okay, but if they retool, and it's continue, yep, okay, that works.
And,
Are you guys good with that?
yeah. Ingrid and Tina got all of the town properties on the insurance, which is probably, I'm worried that may cause this whole analysis of the roofs and what's covered or not, but, anyway, all of your properties are now, Jim showed us, and he was missing 3 or something like that, or just, I don't even know that they were improved, but he was missing 3. And then, income, so I've seen the agreement that Ingrid did. That's not my understanding of how you do those. So it's not like a tax abatement type project. They put it in and give it to the town if the town's gonna maintain it. And there is no tax on it, there's nothing to abate. So I just need to talk to you guys and get some ideas on what you guys are thinking on that, because that's not how
I'll have to get back with Dustin and see where that whole thing is at and see, and then we'll get together.
Because she had a real brief set of notes, and then I saw her agreement, and I'm not understanding the transaction.
Okay, all right, well, yeah, let me check out, Dustin couldn't be here tonight, but I've emailed him and texted whatever, and he'll be seeing me shortly. And, then I'll email everybody and figure out where we're at and where we ought to go.
Yeah, it may be helpful to have like a conference call, so we can hear it all at the same time and react to it, and then I can just put it in words, or Andrew can put it in words. So I'm not sure I'd be surprised if that's what was, everything that was discussed. I don't see how that's even gonna work, so it says nothing about what they would pay for rates. That's what she did, and it's the memorandum of understanding. It's basically Old Porch's memorandum of understanding.
Right.
And I get that, and I understand the concept of that, but it doesn't talk about what their rates are going to be, or what if there's gonna be a tap fee, or who's gonna own the pipe, because if you're gonna maintain it, I think you need to own it. So if you need to own it, now we're going sideways on the other concepts that are covered by that agreement. So
Okay.
that's why it'd be helpful to have everybody on the line when we do that.
Yeah. Well, we need to see if we even need to get that far, if they're even, how interested they really are.
I saw they're putting as we speak, they're literally erecting a new
Yeah.
elevator. That's all I have.
Anybody have anything else for the council? Sir?
Yeah, I was wondering if I can get a riser for the baseball field water. They came in and moved the water line on that 326, and that sunk a lot, and to fill it up, it's gonna pretty much cover the cap up.
It didn't sink at all. They didn't even pull it out.
It sunk, because it's a big hole from the year I moved in there, from you guys digging it up, I don't even know if you're in there, to then, I can show you the holes that were never there. You can see where they dug across their drive, and at the very end, wait till that water's gone, I'll show you the same holes.
I've seen it. All I'm saying is they didn't move the pit.
No,
It didn't
I'm not
sink
saying
down
that,
at all.
But I want to put a riser on it, because,
So you can hit it with your plow and rip it off?
no, eventually I'm gonna put more gravel in there, but it needs to be come up, or I'm just gonna cover it up.
But you can't cover it up.
I've asked you guys to bring gravel down to do it.
Okay, hold on. Is it below grade?
It is a little below grade, but if you're above grade, then it's just gonna start getting hit.
Right, but I think what I hear him saying is he's gonna raise the grade as he brings in stone.
He's never told me that he was gonna bring in stone. He just wanted it higher so there wasn't a hole there.
Are you gonna raise the grade?
I said at the last meeting, I was waiting for them to do the water line. I didn't know what route they were doing, if they had
Okay,
to
so,
dig up.
okay, hold on, before we get too many extraneous details going here. If we put a riser in and bring it up some, are you going to then bring the grade up so that you don't plow it and then hit it and be breaking the pit?
I want to at least put 2 to 3 inches of gravel on my drive.
Okay, can you bring it up to deal with 2 or 3 inches of gravel?
Should be able to.
Okay.
Because that's what I've been waiting for, is whatever they were gonna do with the water line. We talked before about it. You didn't know if they were boring it or digging it or whatever. And that's what I've been waiting for. I'm tired of muddy driveways. They did come and grass all that down though.
Anybody else have anything to
And
discuss?
I have
The building being up.
my neighbor at 330, they haven't done anything to their yard. No,
You mean as far as like mowing it or anything?
but debris and
The what now?
at 330. They haven't done anything to their backyard or anything.
That's what you have sitting in front of you.
I'm working on
Anybody have anything else? Yes, sir.
I just get to tell you guys I cleaned the house, 523. Just cleaned up, I turned down the shed, and we re-roofed the garage fix those. That's the only thing I have to do.
Did we have a building order against that?
Yes, but he's supposed to be back next month.
Oh, okay,
I don't know, I was told it was,
yeah.
but it is done. I have
Excellent.
got a dumpster. I have a dumpster over there that is filled that way. I want that stuff.
Okay, well, you're scheduled for next month, so John will take a look at it, and if he's happy with everything that you've got done, we'll release it, and that'll be that.
Okay, I'll be here next month just to make sure.
Okay,
What day again?
It is,
May 19th.
May 19th.
May 19th, okay.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Good.
Anybody else? After that, make a motion to adjourn.
He wasn't asking me.
I'm gonna call you and read over these dates.